before, did you have a cycle like the one we talked about in terms of like what you run the big sprinter through everything, or like what were the chatters instructed to do?
Like no instruction. Basically, we try to have like some tricky things, but it's basically everything on feelings. I feel like this guy might spend, or I feel like I need to do this tricky thing on him, for example. But there is no actually system. And that's something that we are leaving money like 100%. And I think that will, just even that will increase the revenue 100%. It's impossible to not increase the revenue with that. So yeah, we had no system basically.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, and again, like I would say like you or me, like all of us, we wouldn't need a system because we know how to talk to these people, right? Like we have that.
Yeah.
We've talked to them long enough. It's just like at some point, but especially for the chatters, like ideally we want to give them like an idiot-proof system. So like if you gave a monkey a keyboard, you could get at least like $2,000 out of this guy, right? And like the cycle we always put the guys through is like we talked about, right? First we start with the framework. So we try to give him an understanding of why he's spending money. I think most agencies forget that. They're just trying to sell PPVs, and then the guy wakes up one day, it's like, man, I spent like $5,000 on this chick. And like I haven't even met her once. Like this has to be a scam, right? It's like, all right, fair enough. But the mistake is not like that you sold too much, it's that you didn't give him the understanding. It's like, if I told you like, bro, you have to go for a run every single day in the morning, you'd be like, nah. Like at least you wouldn't do it. But if I told you, hey, bro, like I'm going to give you $1 million if you go for one run every 30 days, you'd be like, all right. So like you'd see it differently. And the same way we want to tell them, hey, you are a man and I want a man that provides for me. If I see you provide for me, then I might even go one step further and go more serious with you, maybe settle down. We can't say meet, but we all know we're implying meeting. And then he knows, like, once he spends money, we can tell him, oh, I love how you provide for me. You're such a provider. I've never met a man who's so providing. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a provider, Then he can cope himself into it, but we have to give him, like, the direction. And, like, that's, like, the first step of the cycle. And the second one is to let him, like, emotionally invest. And that's, like, a ladder that I showed you yesterday, right? But so every 10 days, we want to get one step further down the ladder. So first step is, okay, write me a little poem. Next one is like, have me as my phone background, buy me a gift, have a picture of me next to my bedstand, create a Spotify playlist for us, right? Because every single time, now he's going to think about her like 10 hours a day. This is what your chatters can't text him 10 hours a day. Yeah. But bro, like if he has your model as a phone background, for example, there's a million things you can do. Bro, he wakes up thinking about her. He goes to sleep thinking about her. Like your chatters can never compete with that. And then the two last steps of the cycle, just to run through it, is next we want to diversify payments. So as, for example, in your case here, the chatters will probably just send out PPVs, right? Yeah. So obviously, as we all know, like, let's say realistically after 3 months, he's literally seen everything. And it's like her titties don't change that much, like unless she's getting fat. So it's like after 3 months, he doesn't really give a shit about her PPVs. So then most whales stop buying. And I'm sure you had this as well. Like these whales, they just stopped spending money.
Yeah, we are having this actually. So yeah, we are trying to have different type of things. Like for example, bills. Like as we spoke about it, to try to make them spend more.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And like the main reason why they stopped spending money is either because the framework wasn't there, or it's mostly combination. Like they just get bored. It's a fair game, I'd also get bored. Yeah. So like we can have them spend for PPVs, obviously for customs that are like much more to him. Like if he likes a certain song, like, okay, I'm going to make a custom singing to it. It doesn't have to be sexual. Also like we talked about, right? Bills, electricity bills, Wi-Fi bills, police fines, giving her personalized gifts that he tips for and then she buys, maybe the fake version of, so you can make a profit. Like there's all these different things. So like they feel much more in a relationship. And then you can also send PPVs for free, right? But the last step in the ladder, which you weren't doing before, I think also, at least calculated, is like this making drama. That's like the last step in the cycle, Because like how many whales did you have that ended up like being pissed at you because you weren't meeting them, you weren't progressing in the relationship? You know what I mean?